Blog Talk Radio. Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take2 Radio, and thanks for listening.
Hey, good evening, everybody. This is David from Take2 Radio Soaps and Review. I'm subbing for Pam, who is under the weather today. And with me, I have Willie, Candace.
Hi, everybody.
Anthony. And Rachel.
Hey. What up?
How's
hey,
everybody today?
Great.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting start to the new year, that's for sure.
Mhm.
Yes, it has. So, I have just a minor announcement affecting us. Well, not altogether. For all of you who don't know, as of November, Take-Two Radio Soaps and Review and Christmas Movie Spotlight have been moved, can now be seen on Pandora.
Nice.
Cool.
Right.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Very
and cool. Yes, it is. We're happy about it. And our Christmas movie spotlight, which is usually from October to December, had a very good season this time, and they will be coming back again this year.
Awesome.
Yay, I love listening to those.
Too bad they don't do Valentine's Day movies. So, I think we have got a lot to talk about tonight.
We got a lot to talk about. So, do you want to start with B&B?
So it's a good place to start.
Sounds fun. Let's go. Yeah, Los Angeles.
Well, gotta say, I am interested in what this new angle with Thomas will be. Bill has completely turned me off, which has happened before, so, it's quite possible that they'll write him in a way that ignites me again. But ultimately speaking, I'm a little on the back fence with Bold and the Beautiful. It's not really titillating me at the moment.
It's not clicking?
It's not clicking, yeah.
I get you. Keep paying attention because there's a part in there that the fans are confused, but that's on purpose. So tune in because you're going to understand why things are going the way they are. So there's a lot going on that it's yet to be explored.
Well,
there's a lot.
The one thing that I love about The Bold and the Beautiful is they don't really play with the history too much. If they bring back a character or if they, reference something, other soaps that I could mention, completely rewrite history to the point where we're like, what the who, when, where, why?
Yeah.
But their pattern seems to be they drop some emotionally incredibly riveting, at the edge of your seat, scene, storyline, and then they go into a plateau pattern for a couple of weeks or months. And, after all of the drama with Ridge, Brooke, and Taylor, as well as the Sheila stuff is, man, Candace, I know you got stuff to say.
Okay, so I'm looking at it as a fan, but also as a writer, which I'm noticing now more than ever. I'm doing that a lot. I'm looking at it from a writer's point of view, and I don't know if I should stop that or whatnot. But overall,
forever and a day.
Right? Here's the thing. I feel as though, I'm going to say this. I'm so interested in the story. I know, like you said, a lot of people have, voiced their opinions on social media saying that they're, turned off for Bold and Beautiful because nothing's making sense. But here's what I noticed. I have to be like a detective with Bold and Beautiful because isn't it ironic, right? I feel like Alanis Morissette should have been on here right now. Isn't it ironic, don't you think, that we're talking about the night that Bill was shot all of a sudden? How long ago was that?
Yes, it is.
4 years ago.
Many moons ago. Yeah, that was many moons ago. The fact that we got a flashback from Taylor's point of view about what happened that night. The fact that it's always been a theory about Liam being the person. So then you go to Sheila and Bill. Two people who we just didn't. Again, if you had Bill and Sheila on your bingo card for this year, make sure you put a dot, okay? Because I clearly did not have that. But I'm like, okay, what's this about? Why is Bill acting like he's mind-controlled? What's going on here? I'm not going to say much, but put two and two together and see what you come up with. And that's why I'm still intrigued. I'm like, could it be? Could this be happening? Let me find out, because I'm like, Bill hooking up with Sheila?
I'm trying to think how.
What is Sheila good at?
Kimberly
What is
said.
What is Sheila good at?
Manipulation.
She's good at manipulation.
And what is something that Bill can't stand? What is the thing that Bill can't stand?
Besides Rich?
Besides Rich. Bill can't stand when somebody has something on him or his family. So let's just say it. Let's do the what ifs here. What if Sheila knows who really shot Bill? What if that person is Liam?
I'm with you on that. I always felt there was so much left in that story that I got to give the writers credit on this. I'm glad that they're refocusing on it, because it makes you wonder, just like Y&R when they cut off Delia, we always still wonder, really, was it Adam behind the wheel or was it Nikki? So these kind of stories that they're bringing back and focus, now that is good storytelling. I'll give credit for that. So good job on the writers for this one.
Because, again, it's like, all right, let's take a look and see, okay, again, for Bill to not be saying anything, right there, you know something's up. You know something is wrong. Yeah. For the fact that Sheila is playing the like, she really is in control. The only way you can be in control is if you have something on him. Bill would not crumble like this. So the fact that he's kind of isolating Steffi, Katie, by the way, Heather Tom's girl.
Yes.
Girl, get the Emmy nod. Get that Emmy nod for next year. But even with Brooke told Sheila, was Fuller. When Brooke said, shut up, it's like, even with Wyatt and Liam, like all the people that, whether they like it or not, care about Bill, Bill is completely like a mommy. He's like, he is totally like a dummy. But you can tell Bill, it's like, again, it's either I look too much into it, but when I look into Don Diamant's eyes, first and foremost, I get lost in them. But in Bill's eyes, you can tell something is wrong. It's something that's going on, and it's like, but yeah. So I'm gonna just say I'm gonna keep my eyes on the story as it unfolds. But I think Sheila has something on him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hashtag shut up Sheila is trending on Twitter. I think that's funny.
Mm-hmm.
So let's hear a little bit from Rachel.
Could she have something on Will?
Nah, it wouldn't be juicy. No offense, Will.
It has to be either Liam or something completely out of left field, like Katie or something. But my money's on Liam.
Like, okay, let's go there. Okay, real quick. It's either three things, and I'm just going to pluck them out. That Liam really shot Taylor, right? I mean, that Liam shot Bill. Y'all know what I meant. That Bill is the father of Steffi's baby, which I know a lot of people has been, saying too. Or, I don't know, something. I don't know. Just pick something random. I don't know. Oh, that Bill paid off Sean and Flo to leave town or something. I don't know.
The thing about the paternity makes a lot of sense too, because honestly, I think that if you really pay attention the last couple of months, they are definitely paying attention to what the fans are saying, right? And nobody wants to see another triangle going on yet again, and nobody wants. So how do you throw yet another monkey wrench into Steffi's life? Oops, turns out. And what if all along Sheila somehow machinated the paternity to have been duped the way it was in the first place? So that makes a lot of sense too. But the reason I say Katie is because if you look at the pattern of Bold and Beautiful, whenever there's a shocker like this, or I'm sorry, not like this. Whenever they're building towards a shocker, they tend to take the person who's going to be the centralized figure of the shocker and put them into like a holding pattern. So you have the person who's being manipulated, Bill. You have Katie, who's kind of in a holding pattern. Great acting, though. Don't get me wrong. So it could be either one of those three, or something completely. But I will give Bold credit up to this point, and I don't think this is going to change. They don't rewrite their history, oh, my God. Let's look at General Hospital, for example. They rewrite so badly that you're like, wait, I was there. I saw it. AKA, Jake dead, heart given to somebody else, kidney given to somebody else. Boom, bam, 5 years later. But let's hear from Rachel, because we haven't really heard from her yet.
So my two top Bold writers over here at soapdirt.com have competing theories that we like to talk about. One of them is that Sheila, with her medical knowledge, is love drugging him into submission. And we actually did an article about what chemicals are involved in love and how could you do this. Just talking about the chemistry of, because he's like mute and he is completely unbill right now. He's staring at the floor. He's letting someone else speak for him, even when they're alone. And that's like, it's one thing when there's a third party in the room, but when they're alone, he's still saying these things to her. So competing theory number 2 by my other Bold writer is that Bill is plotting a long con to ruin Sheila for good and redeem himself completely and win back Brooke or Katie, or maybe he's aiming for sister wives. Who knows? But so we're back to something is definitely off. Bill is not organically in love with this fiend, and I agree with that. That's the part of both theories I can agree with, is that there is no way in hell Bill actually loves this woman. But today I still really enjoy it.
Yeah, I agree. There's going to be a lot to it, and then I can add there's just tonight's little teasers for Bold and Beautiful. This umbrella arc, buckle up, because you're also going to have Will return. That's Katie and Bill's son. He's supposed to be popping up, and then also, believe it or not, but here we go. Ridge is going to get a new lover, and so will Thomas, yet again. I hope it sticks this time, because every time they try with Thomas, they always drop the ball.
Can I say something about, just real quick, Thomas and rewriting history? Because when it came up earlier that Bold doesn't rewrite history, generally they don't. But the thing with Thomas really bothers me because back in the day, he did not have a big flame for Hope. He was only sidelining her to help Steffi get to Liam. But he didn't really have a genuine interest in her. He played along, and then they've created this, 2-decade obsession, and I don't like that. That bothers me in a historical rewrite. But generally, they are good about not doing that. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, the train's coming.
No.
You can hear that?
Not me.
How about that?
Not me.
It's from my end.
I really would not be surprised if at some point in the near future we get some kind of Thomas and Sheila scenes. I'm just putting that out there. I think maybe by the next show
I've been waiting.
we'll have something to talk about there.
And Rachel, you brought a good point. The part about Thomas, I agree with you, because if you think about it, you go back, they didn't do this until after he was supposedly obsessed with that dumb mannequin. That's where they really got stuck on that. That with his obsession with Hope. It's like, if you're not going to do nothing with it, let's move on. And that's why I'm hoping, when I heard about Thomas's new lover, I hope it's someone that is going to be exciting, and I don't want them to go backwards.
I really loved him when it was Pearson Faudet with Sally Spectra, but I loved Sally Spectra at Y&R too much to want her back on Bold because they didn't do her justice. I
agree. I want her at Y&R.
But they did have a nice romance. Yeah, I think they need to bring somebody else new on for him, and they keep saying they're going to, and they keep lying to us because they keep not, and they keep going back to Hope, who's, to me, just as interesting as day-old white bread. So
the man can be matched with just about anybody. Look at it. I mean, I don't know what the problem is,
It's not chemistry, because he had chemistry with Zoe.
Yeah, no, it's not a chemistry thing. So Thomas is the Elizabeth Baldwin, Weber, all the iterations that she is. He's the Elizabeth of Bold and the Beautiful. They write him into corners that they can't get him out of. And they keep changing his personality, so there's no consistency. The difference between Thomas and Becky / Elizabeth is that Elizabeth has a ardent, and I mean ardent, fan base. So no matter what they do to her, her fans are going to find a way to justify it. Thomas, on the other hand, was gone off the canvas for too long. And even back in the day when, Candace is going to slap me upside the back of my head, but I always go back to this. Mm-hmm. Even back on the island with the berries, Thomas never grabbed the attention of Bold and the Beautiful fans the way Liam did. And I'm going to go so far as to even say the way Wyatt did. When Wyatt came in, it was like, oh, he's going to be another Thomas. But they found ways to make him interesting, to make him, even though they changed his character quite often, they made it they did it fluidly so that it was believable. And again, my favorite iteration of Wyatt was when he was with Katie, and all the role play games and things. That was the storyline.
They finally broke the mold.
They dropped that too quickly.
Well,
they let go of that way too quickly.
Let me just say this about Thomas, because I think this is not – I can't even compare him to like Elizabeth. I think this is what Thomas was like. In hindsight, Thomas is the second fiddle. In other words, just like Thorne, just like, any second sibling on – like take a look at Young and the Russells with Nick and Victoria. Victoria is the head honcho. She is the boss. Nick is just there. You know what I'm saying? Even though he has purpose, they don't know how to write for him in certain aspects. That's the same thing with Thomas. Here's the thing, and I'm going to say this to the people in the back. Thomas is not supposed to be a saint, and he's also not supposed to be a sinner. He's a complex character. If you know his history, you understand why I said that. He is vying for attention. That is part of his aura, is that he wants to prove himself. He's sort of like Ridge in a sense, too, where he wants to prove himself to his father to get his father's seal of approval. At the same time, he's trying to come out of the shadows of his younger sister. Let me say that for the people in the back. Younger sister, because Thomas is older than Steffi, for those who don't know. And also the fact is that he feels as though he has to get the attention because everybody overshadows him. That's Thomas. That is all Thomas. And I feel as though the writers, they're trying to figure out what is his real placement. Is he going to be a villain like Grandma Stephanie? Or is he going to be that, you know, okay, you can come to me whenever you need to be scheming, but I'm going to try to, like, get the girl and get the applause. Here's why it's not going to work, though, that way. I'm going to tell you what, hey, Bold, come here for a second. Come here real quick. Here's what you need to do. You need to hire a Rick Forster to even this out. Because if you get Rick, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have your answer to Thomas. Why doesn't Thomas work right now is because, one, he got all the blame for something that Steffi did. And for those who are going to come after me, keep in mind, this was Steffi's idea for the Parent Trap situation, okay? Thomas just went along with it because that's what Thomas does. He rolls with the punches. But then he faces the consequences.
Same
I do want to
with
see
the
what's going to happen next. Right, the baby, like, to me, that was such an easy. No, he didn't, but he continued it on. See, that was the thing, is that Thomas is also in his head where he feels as though he can be the hero, even though he's a part of the lie. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, you had the perfect opportunity to tell everybody the truth, Thomas, and what did you do? You kept it going. You kept the secret hidden. Now we know where you got it from. Your mama. It's like if you keep a secret, you're going to still go along with some things. But the problem is that everybody seems to be like also babyfying him too. Thomas knows that he can get away with so much stuff. Yes, he gets caught and all that, but at the end of the day, everybody's like, oh, baby Thomas, oh, boo, 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 boo. Like, that's why I was kind of glad when Ridge said what he said, even though, Ridge, I'm still mad at you. But it's like, but it's interesting because I do enjoy Thomas. I do wish, though, they would play certain beats. Like, I do want to see Thomas versus Steffi. I'm sorry, I do.
I absolutely
because,
oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
I would
if
love
he
that.
went full villain, yeah, if he went honestly, full villain, opened a rival fashion house and started stealing from them, I'd be down for that. So down.
He needs to. And this is Thomas. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and that would be a great way to bring Rick back in too, because Rick is always being pooped on as well. And if somehow the two of them decided, you know what, enough is enough, we're getting what's ours, that would be a really interesting turn of events and a great way to go with the show.
Well, this is what I'm thinking, because in all honesty, okay, I feel as though Thomas, in my head, if he really wants to do this, like, if he's like, you know what, my family disowned me, I'm going to disown the name Forster and take on my real last name, Marone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is what we do. Thomas is not Thomas's talent, because remember, Ridge kept frowning upon him, right? Okay, this is what you do. You call CJ up. CJ Garrison, hey, can you give me some money? Okay, give me a loan. Thanks. Okay. Who is the one designer I know that could probably piss everybody off? The one, the only, Amber Moore. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
The lady that took Thomas's virginity and everything like that. This is what you do, baby. Here, work with me. Come with me here. You bring back Amber. Guess what? Surprise, surprise. Because Rick and Maya got divorced, right? So guess what? We get Maya. We get Thorne to put some money into this because Thorne knows what Thomas is going through. We bring on Harrison Alexander. I don't know who that is, but it might be related to Macy. Okay, see, this is where you get the rival because it's like now Thomas is also talking to people behind closed doors who is real big investors in Forster. And
Legacy,
find out that
Legacy family.
Yep. Right, but at the same time, you have the backers. Like Thomas can whisper something like, "You know what? Did you hear about this? Yeah, their stock, the hope for the future can't. Ooh, did you hear about the decline? Ooh, I can totally see that, and that would bring Steffi. Steffi going to be like, yes.
I could
go ahead.
In a good betrayal. I could see Thomas side with like maybe Felicia or Kristen. Now that would be some fireworks.
Well, I mean, you can hear about them. I don't think Bold. If I'm going to be honest, and this is not a dig to the actresses because there's been a variation, but I feel as though their role in all of this is they're going to probably side with Bridge and them. You need sort of like a Dynasty, Colby's, Dallas type of thing to happen with Bold and the Beautiful, right? That's what we want. We want the families right now. Okay, we got Brooke and Taylor. It took 30 years. We finally got some friend stuff, right? Okay, but at the same time, you got Steffi, you got Thomas, who, in my eyesight, like I always said, they were the ones that's going to break. They were going to go at each other. Take a look at what's going on with Young and Russells when we talk about it with Devon and Lily. That's kind of what I want with Steffi and Thomas. Like I've always wanted that, and I love both of them.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to see who was the better one.
And it should be that way. It should be that way because when Bold and the Beautiful premiered, it was like like a sister to Y&R, because remember you had Lauren. So I agree with you. Yeah, we should have that. That should parallel with Y&R.
But that also happened with Thorne. But that also happened with Thorne and Ridge back in the day. See, it's sort of like they would follow in the footsteps of the whole civil rivalry going on. It's like Steffi is the and Thomas is like won't. And we know Thomas is a good designer, but he has to prove himself. So Maroni Design coming soon.
Well, I think that's a great segue to hop on over to Genoa City. Willie, what's been happening lately up in Genoa City?
Oh my gosh, we got everything from Devon and Lily are still fighting over this crazy IPO. Jill, I love you, but I agree with Devon. They really should have thought about this IPO a whole lot better. But I'm glad because this is going to bring Jill back because, as we know, Victor has been talking to her off screen, and he's requesting a favor from her. And we know how much he's hating Sally Spector right now. So I'm feeling like we're going to get a little bit of payback for what Sally did to Summer when she took Summer's job away from her. I think we're going to get a little payback on Victor's side for that. What else? Oh, Daniel and Lily are they're friends, but no connection right now because he's still talking about April, and Chance and Sharon are slowly growing closer. Tessa and Mariah are still talking about a baby that is off screen. I don't know how y'all feel about this with the baby story. Can you feel it, or you're like me and just let's move on?
I'm not so much let's move on. I'm more like, okay, give us the hook, or give us the the bend in the road. It's not doing anything for me now, but it's not necessarily like turning me off. And I kind of feel the same. I kind of feel the same way with Chelsea. We had the meat, we had the bones, but now, okay, where's the next hook? David?
she may be trying to find herself, and I don't know if Billy's going to latch on to her, causing...
With both hands.
Well, you can tell Victoria's a little uncomfortable.
Oh, Victoria's very uncomfortable. And here's the thing: something came out in one of the publication podcasts during an interview that really made me stop and pause. And the question was basically, is there a way to justify a Billy and Chelsea relationship? So, what would it take for the fans, et cetera, et cetera? And I honestly, and Candace, don't shoot me, but I honestly would like to see them try. I think, it's like the Jason, Sam Morgan, Elizabeth. Those fans up against each other would be an interesting, dynamic for the show itself as far as publicity and buzz and talking is concerned. And I think these two characters, played by the actors that are portraying them right now, could pull it off. But it's got to be done really, really, really well.
I agree. I'm on board.
Rob?
I'm on board, and I think they're going there. I mean, every day it seems like they're going there more. I think there's been enough time, and she did the big mea culpa, and he's no saint, even though, he was raped. But,
Candace?
Okay. So, going to the Mariah and Tessa thing first. I'm having a huge issue with the storyline because, one, we're not even seeing the majority of it on screen. One.
I think there's a reason for that, though. But go ahead.
The woman.
But it goes to my next thing. As much as I love Mariah and Tessa, and trust me, I do, I feel as though them having a baby right now is too rushed. I wish, and let me say this from the bottom of my soul, I wish soaps would stop doing this. Because my whole thing is that, first and foremost, they're both healthy, they're both vibrant. They could, down the line, and when I say down the line, give me a year. Okay, give me a year or two, and then we can talk about babies. Right now, I feel as though their only purpose right now on the show is this baby storyline, which I'm like, okay, Young and Restless. Now, we're not doing this. You were supposed to do something completely different with Mariah and Tessa. And I feel as though, and let me preface this. Let me get on my soapbox real quick. Soaps, from Bold to Days to GH to Young and the Restless. Hi, I'm Candace. Nice to meet you. I am 40. I won't say 41. I will be 41 next month. Hello. I don't have no shame in my game in my age. But I'm not constantly thinking about babies. Okay? I work with babies, but I don't want to have one. I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my relationships. I need for you soaps to stop doing that right after, they get married. I know some people do that, but for Mariah and Tessa has more to them than just babies. Because seriously, almost a year ago, to this day, Mariah was giving birth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, okay, what are we doing with Mariah and Tessa? Because you're proving a point that I was hoping you wasn't going to do, Young and Restless, that, okay, you have a same-sex couple on your show after 48 years, okay, and you just use them for a plot point, okay. And when I say this to Ride fans, y'all know I love y'all. You know you know how I feel about this. But I just feel as though I want to see more. I want to see more of them. I understand that the baby mama might be connected to somebody. I wish it was, look, I think all of us wish it was Lucy, right? Okay. But obviously this is going to be some new character or whatnot. I'm hoping for the best in this situation. but I'm just like kind of question mark. Okay. Billy and Chelsea, right?
Real quick before you go on onto the next storyline, because honestly, what they should have done is thrown a different monkey wrench into their relationship before going back to this step. I mean, she literally went through the crazy, so to speak, after giving birth, et cetera, et cetera. What they should have done is have something from Tessa's musical, past. Oh, hey, this song is now a TikTok phenomenon or whatever it be, and now she's got to focus there and test the relationship, have the relationship come back, and boom, now it's time for a baby. I feel like, and I have to say this because I'm from the LGBTQ community, either they have to be in the mix of somebody else's storyline, or they have to be grounded and made some sort of, heterosexual norm couple to be on air, on screen at the show. Go ahead, Candace, take it away.
Right. And not only that, isn't Mariah and Devon friends? Thank you. I'm just asking for the people in the back, because I feel like Mariah should be there. Tessa should be I don't know. I just watched the show. I don't write for none. Okay.
Well,
Billy and Chelsea.
Because nobody's working. You got Tessa not working. You got Mariah now. Mariah. You got Mariah now working. The last time we saw Summer and Kyle talking about them, they're like, "Oh, Mariah took the day off today because she's gonna go see the baby."
I wish I could take as many days as some of these soap characters. I swear I do. Okay, Billy and Chelsea.
Go ahead.
Okay, let me just state this right now. I don't want them to be in a relationship. I don't want them because first and foremost. And when we talk about days, I'm going to say it too. I'm having an issue with the fact now. Okay, if Billy wasn't raped by Chelsea and everything was kumbaya, then yes, I would say they could be a couple. But because she took advantage of him, right? That is my issue right there. Is that you literally took advantage of this man. Now, at the same time, a couple of weeks ago, before this episode had aired, I kept saying, I was giving Billy the reason of why he was around Chelsea. And in the back of my mind, I said, Younger Russell, you better play that beat. You better tell us, the audience, why he's always around Chelsea. I was so freaking happy when Billy said, the reason that he was around Chelsea is because he felt as though he was given another chance to get something right. And when people heard that, of course, he went back to the life change of Delia's death. If it wasn't for a simple thought, a simple, situation, Delia would have still been alive today. And we all have that. We have those what ifs. What if I didn't leave out the house? Or what if I turned the corner? What if I didn't do that? You have those that lives on for in the rest of your life. So the fact that he said when he saw Chelsea, it was as if it was like, okay, what if he didn't get to Chelsea in time? He was with Chelsea. And he felt responsible for that. So the fact that he feels that way is the reason why he's around Chelsea. Now, I also love the fact that he also said every time he does something, he says the wrong thing, he does the wrong thing, and it messes up everything. Thank you, Billy. I wish you would have said that to Lily.
Yeah.
Because I feel as though, even though you, Billy, has had some setbacks as well, Chelsea is not your crutch, especially now. When you are a person, and this is real talk, when you know somebody who is suicidal, you cannot dump your problems onto that person. Because two things can happen. Two things can happen. The person who is suicidal will soak in not only your feelings, but their feelings on top of their issues. And that makes their brain go berserk a little bit, okay? Also, Chelsea is very fragile because of the Johnny stuff with the Victoria stuff. So right now it's like, Billy, you need to separate yourself, and that's what Lily was trying to say. And also, if you haven't figured something out, Chelsea is starting to become self-dependent on Billy.
Yep.
Which is in therapy.
They're heading towards codependence. Yeah.
Right, and that's the scary thing because for her to flash back to with the blanket, it's like, okay, and now Billy and Lily aren't really talking. It's like, hello, that's giving more of a leverage to Chelsea. Younger brother, I see what you're doing, and I'm going to say this. I know some people aren't going to do it, but I'm going to applaud you for that because you're really making me see all the, again, I just broke that down for some of y'all probably wasn't even thinking that. You're like, damn, okay, I see it. But that's where I'm seeing. And I'm still getting this kind of weird feeling. I don't know what it is about the outcome of this storyline. Because you got Daniel in the mix. Right. I mean, you have the kids. Because everybody is walking on eggshells around Chelsea.
Yeah, there's going to be collateral damage. You can feel it.
Well, you're already starting to feel it because Billy and Lily can't even look at each other. One.
Yeah, that's true.
You have Victoria and Billy kind of at odds regarding how the whole Johnny situation was. Victoria's trying.
Right.
She's like, Lord, okay, I know this is the biological mother, and I know that I'm supposed to do right, but, this is irking me. And then you got Adam. Adam is all upset because he feels as though he's being isolated. Because remember, that's what the fight was. He started a fight with Billy. He's like, you wanted to be Chelsea's savior. Okay, Adam. But, it's a mess. It's a mess.
Rachel?
Y&R is messy right now, but I'm honestly enjoying it more than I have in a while because sometimes Y&R goes down this path where there's so many business meetings and stuff that I feel like I'm at a job watching it, and it's painful. I always skipped out of meetings when I had a real job, and I don't want to watch them on my soap. I'm enjoying what's happening. I feel like Chelsea and Billy, I feel like they're going to go there, and I feel like they're going to shove it on the fans that aren't happy about it because of the rape issue. I think they're going to go there anyway, and I think they're going to be codependent, and I don't think either of them is going to bring out the better in each other. But I like them messy. I like them both messy. I don't want Chelsea jumping off a roof, not that messy, but aside from that, I enjoy their messiness. I want Adam out of it, because he's not good. I don't like Victoria right now, and I think she really needs to get laid. That's what I think every time I see her. And I think Tucker's the man who's probably really happy to do it because he'll bang anyone is lately, So I feel like, and that would rub Victor the wrong way.
He's going to bang Phyllis. Watch. Trust me on that.
I think he might bang them both. What?
I agree. I think we're going to have a both situation. Yep. Go ahead.
Tucker is going to put his penis in anyone who holds still for longer than 5 seconds near him, which is great.
He's doing that after Ashley left. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing so loud about this with Tucker. He's acting like the hen in the hen house. He's got all these women that are running around in Genoa City. Well, now that Ashley's gone, he doesn't have no excuse to be good.
Right, and he wasn't even being good when she was around. So, yeah, I think Tucker is definitely going to try to bang Phyllis and Victoria, and I'm down for it. I'm down for him to do it to both of them, and then both of them find out, and then they come to burn him down.
Yep.
I love Stephen Nichols, but I love this recast. I love the way the way that Trevor plays scenes, putting the feet up, messing with people's stuff, that creepy thing where he was sniffing Audra's jacket. He's just always doing weird things, messing around with the props. I just love watching him. He's so much fun. I'm so thrilled they brought him back, and he's my favorite thing right now. And I think he definitely needs to knock the bottom out of Victoria and improve her attitude. So,
well, okay. Let me ask a question for you, right? Nate or Tucker? Nate or Tucker for Victoria?
For Victoria, Tucker.
Yeah.
Tucker's definitely, because it's going to aggravate her dad. It also brings back that Ashland Locke, really older dude thing. And Nate is so pretty to look at, but I just don't like him. I feel bad for Elena even being in his orbit. I think him and Audra can go off in a corner and hump, and I wouldn't mind that.
I'm going to tell you something. I saw it. I saw that chemistry between Audrey and Nate, and I was like, oh, and yeah, she's going to get him into her. Yeah. She's got him already in her web lock
in her orbit
and everything. But the crazy thing is, going back to Tucker real quick, to Trevor St. John, for some of us who watch, Trevor on One Life to Live, this is up in his warehouse of how he plays Tucker. I think the one thing, because again, when there's a recast, and like you said, Stephen Nichols, first and foremost, we got to remember that The Father from Boy Meets World was the first one. And then Stephen Nichols took it to a whole different level, okay? And then you have, Trevor, and I remember, again, when he had scenes with Eileen Davis, and everybody else, he was like, boom, like, dude, have you been on the show already before? But I think we all had we was reserving our feelings when we saw him and Devon, because we have to remember Tucker is Devon's dad, right? But Trevor and Brighton James, and they're not that far apart in age. I mean, probably like 20, maybe 15, 20-year difference here. But it was like they're more bros than father and son.
Yeah. But
I feel as though, like, right now with Tucker, like I said, I think he's going to bang Phyllis. It's going to be bang,
I agree.
into the room.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Bang, bang in the hall.
I've got a question for you, Rachel. A question for you, Rachel. Why is it that some of us fans, because I feel it too, why does it seem like the writers are writing Phyllis almost like a high school drama with her and Daniel? Because when she's talking to Daniel, she's like, I only give you 80%. He's like, no, Mom, I need you at 100%. Why do you think the writers are doing that? Because Phyllis is an adult woman. She shouldn't be doing teenage dialogue. It just feels off.
Well, her whole vibe right now is very, very immature. The whole vibe she's given off, I mean, she's always been, one who will do anything if she feels like it. But I feel like she's untethered, and they don't know what to do with her. Like, she's promising him on the next show that she'll, stop obsessing about Diane, and it's like, I'm very frustrated with her. I don't enjoy her in most scenes lately because she aggravates me right now.
Yes. Yes.
It's catty.
I guess very something catty. With Phyllis too, though. With Phyllis, he was her best friend child. He was her redemption child. She was never the mother figure. She thought she was the world's best mother, and then she thought she was the world's worst mother. But she was never really the maternal mother figure. They were friends more than they were mother and son. So
she didn't raise them for the most part, Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's
there's
why.
a lot to be said for, and that also kind of spills over into Tucker and Devon too, because I hate when soaps reveal. It took years for. I keep going back to GH because it just played every single storyline you could think of at this point. But it took years for Bobby and Carly to come to actually being mother and daughter. Yeah. And so, in both of these relationships, you have the untraditional parental-child relationship. And so, as much as the character of Phyllis is annoying me right now, I at least like that that they haven't changed what their relationship was. That he's been off. They so tend to think sometimes that if a character's been off screen for so long that they can bring the character back and change a bunch of relationships. And none of us who have been watching since the day the damn soap came on the air is going to say, oh, wait a minute, hello, hold up. Let's hear from David real quick, and then I want to get into Diane. David?
Yeah, I think so, too.
All right.
Phyllis has been so catty, and there's been, like, well, I think she has raised him to the best of her ability, but, you know, it doesn't come off that way. And I have to agree with Rachel. I mean, she comes off very immature and irritating, and she needs something.
She definitely
she's
needs
also
something.
her whole raison d'etre lately is she's reactionary. She doesn't have a storyline of her own or a motivation of her own. She's like reacting to Diane. She's reacting to Sally. You know, she doesn't actually own a storyline right now.
So let's start with Rachel this time. Rachel, talk to me about Diane. Have we gotten what we were hoping for? Are you feeling it? Where are you with Diane right now?
So I wasn't watching when Diane died, and I wish I was because I love Maura West. You know, I don't feel like I kept hoping she was up to something, like there was another layer to be peeled back off her onion, which she was. And that over here at Soap Dirt, we were like, maybe she's working with Jeremy, and it's like, nope, I don't think so. Who is another hunk who's wasted, and he could also bang Victoria as an aside. But I feel like that with Diane and Jack, you know, they're back to at a spot where they were, because I've looked into their history because I wasn't watching then, but without Phyllis being there in between them, because she seems to have just thrown up her hands and walked away. So other than Stark, they don't have any obstacles. I know that Kyle's going to have some issues with watching his parents get together, because I think he's unlike younger children who see their divorced parents getting close. It's like, oh, maybe they'll be together. But I think he's worried that they'll be together, and then he knows inevitably it's not going to work out, and then he might lose his mom again. You know, I'm enjoying her. I'm trying to understand where they go from here. You know, because she's never going to have widespread acceptance.
Yeah.
I'm over Diane. I'm over Diane because the last scenes that I saw with Diane and Jack, they make love, and then the next time she goes downstairs, and I love Tracy. Tracy started it. She said, "Oh, I wonder how Ashley's going to react to this. It's a good thing she's in Paris because she'll have a reaction." And all of a sudden, Diane goes before, what was it, like a 180 turn degree, and she starts acting like she's playing hard to get with Jack, and she's like, I don't want to see announce that we're going public yet. It's like, come on, Diane, just go ahead and pack up your bags and leave. I'm over Diane Jenkins.
David?
Well, I'm sort of in the minority here, because I'm hoping that she's on the level on some point. I think she does care for Jack. I know Jack cares for her a lot, but I'm sort of rooting for him, because I'd like to see it happen. But I know, nothing's happily ever after, and I know there's going to be repercussions, especially from Kyle. He's not going to go for this. So,
I'm waiting for that. Yeah, I'm waiting for that moment where Kyle goes almost Thomas off, and just lets everybody have it. And they've got the actor who can do it. But as far as Diane is concerned, I don't feel like we got what could be worth it for the return. And like Rachel said, there's no underlayer. There's no, and if they come out of the woodwork and shock the hell out of us with something, I might change my mind. And y'all all know I've eaten plenty of crow up on this show. But at the moment, I don't feel like it's not interesting. All right, Candace.
Okay.
Candace?
All right, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, there's Jess.
So here's the thing. All right. First of all, we need to address that James Hyde's contract was extended. So what we saw was the first part before they extended his contract. So
right.
I know for a fact that Jeremy is going to come out swinging. Young and the Restless, if you did not learn your lesson with Ashlyn, you need to read, just take a look at your notes and call us later. Here's with Jack and Diane. Here's a ditty about Jack and Diane. Okay. With Diane, I've always said this from jump. I don't trust her. I know many people are like, well, she hasn't shown anything. She hasn't done anything wrong. All she wants is to be a nice mother to Kyle and try again in her life. Boo-hoo. I've heard that before. I feel as though like she's plotting secretly. She is plotting. She is like using her quote-unquote innocent act and stuff like that. Because let's be true. How did we find out? The reason I say that is because I go back to Allie. The fact that she duped Allie. By the way, Young and Restless, I know that y'all need to play Allie a little bit more. That's what I'm going to tell you. Now, with Jack, Jack, Paddywhack Jack. I get that you feel a certain type of, you feel responsible for how your treatment is towards Diane because of Kyle. That's what this is based off of. Is Jack is trying to give Diane the benefit of the doubt because it's benefiting Kyle. Kyle is getting to know his mother, okay? But at the same time,
and
Jack,
also it feeds into Jack's "I need to be the hero,"
right?
mentality.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to say is that Jack got himself roped into a jewelry heist of his friend and ex-love, Nikki. Now, Jack, I don't know if you watch Law and Order or CSI or whatever, but your butt can go to jail for this, right? Okay. So Diane is like, with her Betty Davis eyes, y'all know I'm referencing a lot of songs tonight, right? Okay. It's like worming her way into your heart, and you're like, okay, I'll do this for you because da-da-da-da-da. Not realizing that Diane could be plotting. And I agree. I feel as though, because I said this one time before, it would be messed up. It would be the twist of the twist if not only she's working with Jeremy, but also with Tucker, too.
Oh. Yeah.
That would be a fun twist.
That'd be fun.
Because to me, it's like Jack is because if something goes because I think this is the big thing. Everybody wants, quote unquote, the mean girls to face their consequences. By mean girls, that's Phyllis, Nikki, and Ashley. Okay, Ashley's over in Paris. Nikki got her necklace stolen. Phyllis is she's Phyllis. She's Phyllis, right? Yeah. Okay. The thing is that at the end of the day, Jack is going to get hurt. Jack is going to get hurt. And it's sort of one of those things where, sadly, yes, Jack is alone. Jack is alone. Like when Tracy and Ashley comes to the house, it brings him joy. When Allie comes, through, it brings him joy. To see Kyle and Summer and Harrison and all that. So to have Diane. So right now, Jack is in a happy place. But here's the thing about people who show their emotions. There's people out there who knows that you show your emotions and uses you. And that's what I think Diane, I truly believe Diane, first and foremost, let me say this. I truly believe Diane does not want to hurt Jack, but
she's willing to sacrifice him for what she really
exactly.
wants. Yeah.
But to quote a good Madonna song, it's human nature.
I like how you did that, Will.
I got a surprise for the group. I've got 2 spoilers, so get ready. And I know we're
I thought you had Peter Bergman on the phone. Okay.
This is going to be fun. Okay. Somebody gets kidnapped, and someone proposes, and it's an unexpected pairing nobody expected.
Okay, Harrison about to get kidnapped. I'm sorry. The kid. I love the babies. I love the kids. Y'all know I do. And proposal. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
In my head, I think I know.
Come on, Candace, tell me. Come on.
I forgot Adam reconnects with an X.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. Because it's okay. I got to pick between the two because somebody else, another couple just popped in my head. Okay, based off of what I know, I'm going to say Sally and Nick.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
And the other one, by proposal because of business stuff, I can see Tucker and Phyllis.
You know,
I can go with that.
It's going to be a business deal.
Tucker got married. That would be the ultimate.
Well, Well, here's the thing. It makes logic sense because I'm gonna tell you. See, again, I watched too much Detective. Rachel, you guys probably figured this one out too. Isn't it ironic? Again, the song, right? Okay, Tucker wants to get involved again with Devon. Devon wants to take back Hamilton Winter. Okay. Daniel is going to be working for Lily and Devon, right? Okay. The only way that Tucker can get kind of close to Devon is to kind of be on his same level or maybe even be on the same team. I don't know. You have Phyllis, who may have her back up against the wall. He might blackmail her. So that's where I'm going at with this. I watch too much soaps.
And don't forget, Jill is also Tucker's ex too. So it's going to be a really
that
crazy.
That is true.
It's a big conundrum.
Mhm.
All right, by vote, do we want to go to Salem or Port Charles?
Let's do Port Charles. Let's get this over with.
Right. Let's do Port Charles.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's start with Candace.
Oh, why me? Okay. Let me try to find something nice to say. Let me try to find something nice to say. It's good to see Elizabeth in a lot of scenes. You know, seeing more Rebecca Herbst. Seeing more Rebecca Herbst. Okay. That was the nice thing, right? I did it, right? Okay.
That was
Can
a
I now
nice
shame
thing.
the devil? Can I now shame the devil?
Go ahead.
Can I please shame the devil? GH, what the heck did you do? What did you do that I said I didn't want you to do, but you was going to do it anyway? You built it all up. This has been 6 months in the making. You built it all up that Carly knew the paternity of Nina's second child. You've been playing the beat that Willow was going to succumb to leukemia. You was building all of this up. And what did you do?
They dropped
I'll tell
it.
you what you did. They dropped it, and just in the words of Claire Huxtable, it was no big fun. Okay? You had the opportunity. Oh God. You had the opportunity. This was going to be explosive. And again, I keep saying this. You have the ingredients. You have Emmy Award winner Laura Rice, Cynthia Watros, right? You got for us who look. Some of you guys just know them on General Hospital, but for some of us, we do them from Dying Light. Okay, so we know when it's time to play. It is time to play hard ball. You dropped the ball. The last minute, GH, the reveal was nothing that we all thought it was going to be. The fact that, first and foremost, let me go back. The fact that Drew, let me sit down for this. The fact that you had Drew singing Carly's praises, wrong, nope, and no. Two,
no.
Okay. You had the reveal in a church. First and foremost, who's going to let Carly and Nina go into a church in a chapel with nobody around? knowing good and well holy water can be used as a weapon. Yes, it can.
Well,
but like nothing came from this, and what made it worse was nobody faced any consequences. Okay, Michael should have been mad at Carly. Well, I understand why.
Thank
because
you.
He was,
harmony,
maybe.
like for a split second, until like
For a
we
second.
and then well, here's the thing about Willow. I was on your for anybody who's heard my voice on this show. Y'all know that I've liked it, Willow, because one, she was a teacher. I was like her dynamic and stuff. But GH, you did something too that I just was like, well, it happened. You made me dislike Willow to the point
me too.
where I was like, girl, I hope that bone marrow does not match. Because first and foremost, you're like, I'd rather die than be saved by you. Harmony was a better mother. Harmony got you raped, woman.
Yep.
Harmony put your life in jeopardy. Okay, Miss Thing? And two, you should be, like, if I was Nina, and I said this, because of all this stuff, if I was Nina, I would have said, you know what, let me think about it, and walk out. Switching and everything.
Yep.
This,
Candace.
Okay,
story,
I gotta jump in here now.
Okay.
So here we go. First off, Candace, I completely agree with you. I love Cameron Matheson. I absolutely adore him. I know him as a human being, but my God, no.
What have they done?
First and foremost, General Hospital, I was praying. I was saying Hail Marys, Holy Rosaries. I was doing,
I did a 2-day
rituals.
cleanse for you, GH.
Yes, this would have been the perfect storyline. Somebody should have found Carly's little piece of paper and went straight to Nina. And this should have all happened off screen. What they should have done was have Willow die, except somebody found out Mason and Austin's secret also. So they blackmailed Austin into helping them convince everybody that Willow was dead, shoot Willow off somewhere for a couple of weeks, let the showdown begin, let everybody, and I love everybody that listens to the show on a regular basis knows Carly is probably my number one soap character ever. The last couple of years, oh God, I don't know. But having said that, I love me some Carly, but let everybody in the damn town of Port Charles have their comeuppance on Carly, and then bam, do the reveal. Nina drives off somewhere. She opens up the door to a house, and boom, there's Willow and Nina's carrying the baby, and we got them. Better even, they'll come out the kitchen with like the next fight with the bottle. Okay, we ready.
I like that.
They had the perfect day.
But Anthony, I got one even better for you. Okay, take a look. I'm gonna go with you, right? But check this out. Okay, let's just say somebody over here on Thursday, right? Carly is in the chapel. Says everybody wants to be in the chapel. Let's do it. And Carly is like. Or somewhere where somebody can either eavesdrop or hear whatnot, right? And she says nobody's ever going to find out that Willow is Nina's child, right? Okay, you either had Drew, you had let me see who else, Sonny, or you could have had Christina. I'm just using Christina because homegirl needs the story, right? Okay, you have it where better yet, have it be Nina. Have it be Nina that found out, right? And Carly is like, what are you doing here, right? And then something, I don't know how it would work, but then they go into the main hall, right, the nurse's station, right? And Carly is walking, Sonny and them are all looking like, what the heck is going on? And then Nina's like, you SOB, what did you just say? And Carly's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she was like, no, I heard you say something about Willow. Here comes Michael. Michael comes out and says, what about Willow? Fade to black, come back, commercial break. Okay. Carly has no choice but to tell and say that Nina is Willow's mother, right? Think about the way that Lulu dragged Elizabeth in front of the hospital. Now apply that to Nina dragging Carly.
Yeah.
In front of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Michael is this true mom. Did you know that Nina was Willow's mom? Have Drew say, you told me that you didn't know. It's like Carly has nowhere to turn. That is how you do an explosive reveal.
That's a good. I like the way you do that. Too bad they're not.
Really?
But how did you mess it up?
Okay. Where to begin? Okay, here we go. Like the rest of y'all, when Willow was all into it with Nina and being a little ungrateful brat, that's where they should have brought Crazy Nina out, Crazy Annie from Guiding Light, take it all out on her and say, like what Candace said about kind of like thinking about it, but let the fireworks begin between mother and daughter again, but on a whole new level. And also on another note, I wanted to add that they made another mistake, and that was today. I won't spoil it if you haven't watched it, but
no, spoil it. Go ahead.
The build that they had, that one is also. I tell you what, I was like, I don't know what to think on this one because they had the ball, and yet again, they drop it.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get what I mean when you watch the episode. If you don't watch it today, watch it, and you'll get to know what I mean. But again, GH, you need to focus on the stories that you've got and quit dropping the ball because it's just going nowhere.
What ball do you think they dropped today? Go ahead and say it.
It's all right. You can say it.
Okay. Yeah. We all know that Jocelyn dumped Cameron, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cameron went over to
Dex.
Jocelyn's room.
And Dex opened the door.
He went over there to tell her about the cancer, a braid or whatever, and he didn't know that she knew. So when he went over there comes Dex opening the door shirtless, and there's Jocelyn. And what I didn't like was the fact that here's the chance for him to see that he was betrayed. And she's telling him, don't tell on me because if you do, then Dex gets in trouble. And he's just like, all that anger, all that frustration, they could have gone more with it, but they didn't. They just kind of like...
They held back.
They held back, and I hated that because this is another big story that they could have really done really good with it. And don't get me wrong, the actors themselves are doing a great job. But the material and the storyline are not connecting, and that's where they messed up.
They should have let Cameron go off a little more. They should have let Cameron go off a little more.
That's Liz's son, and his dad is what was it, Xander? Or
Xander.
Or something like that?
Xander.
Let all that come out. Let all that frustration come out. It's just like what happened with Liz. They did the same thing with Liz. They kept it low key, and all of a sudden it's like her memory, she got it back. But again, that build up, it didn't go nowhere because they dropped the ball. Again, it's like what Candace said. Come up with this great story, but when it comes to pull that direction, they drop it.
Okay. So, David, what about you? Let's stick with the reveal first, and then we're going to switch over to the next storyline.
Well, I think there was a little lacking with the reveal. I don't see it as much of a big drop like it should have been. And plus, I think the bigger surprise is if you saw the bumper for this week, it looked like Nina is not a match either.
Okay. Let me just process this right now. I looked at the promo.
Please.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I did. It did look like it. I'm gonna tell you something right now, GH. Let's have another kumbaya moment. A couple of years ago, right before the pandemic, I believe. Anthony, me, and David, we was all on here, and we was talking about how Willow is probably Nina's long-lost child, right? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And we then said it probably, if they're going to do twins, maybe it's Sasha, right? Okay. GH,
Right.
you try to do this, you use like, aha, we're going to have Nell be the child. Shocker. Okay. Something tells me you're trying to rousel us again. In other words, you're going to probably say that Willow is not Nina's, which means that Sasha might be the daughter. GH, stop. Please. Or I'm begging you. I am begging you to just I can't even say anything about this storyline because I feel as though, one, this was a waste of let me just do this. Acting performance-wise, good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff.
And that was my next point, but go ahead, Candace.
Yeah. However, the execution of the storyline and GH, look, and it seems around this time period you do it all the time now. I'm starting to question some things. It's like there's such build-up and such hope that all of us fans are like holding our breath because we're like, okay, this is the moment. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. And then all of a sudden it's sort of like we're all getting punched in our gut and all the air is coming out. It's like, and we're
what that would say?
Oh, go ahead, Rachel.
I was just going to say they can redeem it, though. I do agree that it was – I'm jumping in. I haven't had my turn yet. I'm sorry. Do you want to finish what you were saying?
No, I mean, because you're going to say the redeem. You're going to say the favorite word that GH uses. One of the – if I could do a vocabulary of words that GH uses a lot, is redeem or recon.
But in the back of my mind, this would be like the redemption from hell. So let me just say real quick that just about the reveal, Carly's scale of morality is broken. She's putting her foot on there to add pounds. Harmony had her daughter raped. She was a monster. Nina banged her husband and was kind of a bitch at parent-teacher conference night. There's not a scale where Harmony is a better human than Nina. Nina's annoying.
Exactly.
Okay, whatever.
Right.
She got amnesia. She's not a cult wench like Harmony. So she was self-justifying what she was doing because she's still butthurt that Sonny's over there with her. And just side note real quick, I always look when I see Sonny and Nina, and I like Sonny, Cynthia Watros playing off Maurice Baynard. It would be, to me, unwatchable if it was Michelle Stafford still in that part. I think it would be
I have to agree with that, too.
I mean, I
definitely
feel
Michelle
the chemistry.
It would be
it would be a different kind of chemistry.
Okay, so here's my redemption note. I don't know if Nina's going to be a match or not because General Hospital is so bad about piecing promos together so misleading. Like, insanely. Okay, and Days is the same way. They all do it, but GH is real bad about it. But here's what would be fun, is if Nina wasn't a match and then Nell crawled her horrible self back up out of that river and Willow had to put her awful twin sister's DNA into her body to save her life. That would be horrible to think about, you know?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'd rather have Nell than Willow, though.
I'm going to be honest
All right,
with you.
so
Willow's a wet tissue to me. I don't like her.
Yeah. I don't know how they can, because also you said something about Carly, and real quick, and this is probably why this was probably why I did not really like this storyline, is because Carly is the gatekeeper of paternities in Port Charles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is number 8, by the way, for those who are keeping track. But the fact that for Nina, this is her second child that Carly has known about and kept it from her. So to me, again, Carly, you're upset about a lot of things. Take a look in the mirror to find out how all of this pretty much started. You kept, just like Thomas or Bold, you kept a secret when you could have been completely honest. But because of your hatred for somebody, you put on more damage than anything, to the point where Willow is going to it took Willow's death, like, okay, I need some bone marrow and everything, for you to try to quote unquote be the hero. What? Carly and Thomas are the same now. Huh?
Well, and if you think about it, like Carly kind of halfway reaching to keep Nell from falling off the cliff. I don't think she tried real hard. And then she almost, metaphorically let another of Nina's children go off a cliff to certain death.
Yeah,
Carly
it would have
is
been so much
definitely
more
the villain
impactful that
of
way.
this story. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been so much more impactful that way.
Yeah, I love to hate her. I've loved all the different Carly actresses, and I always love to hate them, and I think they're great. But right now, I could kick her off that cliff.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's go a little further.
What's the deal with
because
you jumping Carly for one day and then kumbaya, he forgives us?
Yeah.
Willow forgave her after 35 seconds. That was crap.
Yep.
Yeah, but don't forget, you jumped
that
one
crap.
day.
They don't know how to write.
Forgiving her.
They've written Michael horribly for years and years and years. So this does not, I agree with your point, Willie, but this is nothing new for the character of Michael. But let's go even further now, because GH, I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing with the two babies, and I'm gonna tell you right now, stop it.
Lord Jesus.
Don't even go there.
We just went through this. We just went through this.
A baby switch.
The only thing I will accept as far as babies not going home with their mamas or their daddies because their mama just died, the only thing I will accept is that they push Sasha over the edge again and she takes one of those babies and goes on the run. That's it. If you give us a recycled storyline for the fourth time now, GH, Lord have mercy, I don't know what I'm going to do. All right.
And they can't have Heather take her. They can't have Heather take it.
Oh, I wanted to add real quick for you. The spoiler for the GH is with Portia and Curtis's wedding coming up. Pay close attention because the Sabrina fans are going to be excited. There's something that's going to happen. The Sabrina fandom. So be prepared for that. It's going to get crazy at the wedding.
They better kiss on Valentine's Day. I'm putting out there, Sabrina Nation. I got y'all.
Oh, no, Candace, it's deeper than that.
I'll go you one even further. Let them get a little
deeper.
It better be deeper. They better get tipsy and end up in a bedroom on the Hornet Star and let
No, Anthony, we're not the Hornet Star. You know what happened last time on the Hornet Star. Rest in peace, Kiki.
That's true. All right. Take it up to the Metro. I hear you.
No, because Metro Court, that's named after Spencer's mama. Come on now.
I got a quick question. How do y'all feel about Trina turning out to be Curtis's daughter because Portia's keeping it a secret? How do y'all feel about that? Are you okay with that?
I'm hoping not.
No. I'm hoping. I'm praying to soap Jesus. This is not happening. When I say I'm praying, I am doing the whole rain dance. I am doing the electric slide. I'm doing the break dance. I'm doing the robot. I do not want Trina to be Curtis's daughter for so many reasons.
Yeah, but Candace, don't forget Stella already knows. Stella knows.
I'm dancing with Candace too. Let's do a what's that thing called? The conga line. Come on, shake your body, baby, do the conga. All right, I have to get one in tonight.
Chicken wing and a chicken. Woo!
I'm okay with the paternity change. I'm okay with the paternity change, but not if it paves the path for Curtis to go back to Jordan. That's the only thing I don't want. I don't enjoy them together, and Jordan's been holding this over her head, thinking it's her trump card. Like she might get him back.
But
and I don't like that.
Okay. Rach, you bring up a good point.
Oh, my God. GH, I will give you this for free. You don't even have to cut me a check. Jordan finally can't take it no more. Right before the wedding, right before the vows go off, does anyone object? Oh yes, baby, you gonna tell him who the daddy is? And then Marshall goes, no, can't be. No, can't be, because Stella and I already checked to make sure that she's not crazy.
Okay, so. Here,
wow.
hey, Jump to the hospital. I'm going to help you out with something. I'm gonna meet Rachel and Anthony in the middle. You know how you said Jordan knows about this, right? Okay.
Yeah.
That is out.
Yes.
Theoretically.
How come on screen Jordan hasn't gone to Portia and says and kind of like bait her?
How come since Jordan? I'm sorry. Wait, Candace. I'm gonna answer you that. How come since Jordan has had her eat, pray, love moments, and she want to be all by the rules and all by the books now? How come she didn't say? You tell him. She did say you tell him before I have to. But now weeks and months have gone by. How come she don't say I'm not letting you walk down that aisle? So you tell him, or I'm gonna hit you right the night before the wedding, and I'm gonna blow all of your poop right out the water.
Well, not only that, but like to me, if you're going to play the beats, right? See, GH, okay, once again, I will take the Venmo. Anthony's being nice. I'll take the Venmo checks. But the thing is that, again, I bet a lot of fans forget that Jordan knows. Because like you said, you had to say it one time, right? Maybe two on a lucky day. But you should have them cross paths to the point where when Portia is with Taggart and everything, Jordan's standing right there kind of giving the side eye. Like, remember, I know the truth. And you still haven't said anything. Or go up and say, so, did you tell them yet? Like, kind of like, it's like the time is ticking. And then, like, you know, when I can see Jordan being that little sassy snark, right? When Curtis and Portia are around each other, and I can see Jordan says, you know, it's something about being honest with the person that you love that makes everything so much better. Don't you agree, Portia? Or do it right there with Trina. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do need to play that part because, yeah, at the wedding, you're going to have Jordan there. You're going to have Stella. You're going to have Marshall. You're going to have Anthony, David, me, Rachel, Will. We're going to be there at the wedding, February 14th.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
and when I, so, yeah,
knows.
me and Rachel going to be the ones with the martinis in the back.
Stella knows because you remember she questioned Portia about taking that.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying is that, again, we know Stella knows because, well, Stella knows everything. But the fact is that Jordan, again, I bet people forgot that Jordan also knows. But during the whole time,
Jordan.
Yeah,
just real quick, Jordan knows she was kind of in and out with the gas stuff happening, and Portia said like that one thing, but I don't know why Jordan hasn't gone and like run a DNA test and like sent that in with her RSVP that she wants the chicken, you know, at the wedding.
Mm-hmm. Like to me,
I can answer that, Rachel.
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I can answer that, Rachel. There's something in Jordan's purse that the writers thought we forgot. Don't forget that
about Cyrus.
He was going to do that. He's going to do a test. But then the writers dropped that real quick. So I think it's going to be brought back.
Yeah, I hope so because she needs. Right now, she has kind of a foggy thing and just Portia's guilty reaction, but she doesn't 100% know. I think she's hoping. She's hoping because she thinks that's her back door back in to get Curtis.
Suspicious. She's suspicious.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I would lie to stay with Donnell Turner. I mean, look at him.
So let's hit one more GH storyline before we move over to Genoa City. And General Hospital, I'll go first on this one. You gave us weather, what was it, last winter around this time? that it was hot as heck, and then it was cold up in the sun. You gave us that, and you dropped it. You hinted to us what was going on. Then there was the diamond being stolen. That went nowhere. It was stupid. Y'all don't know what to do with their storyline, and I think even to this moment, they don't know what to do with their storyline. And Lord have mercy, it is so time to end this. I love Charles Shaughnessy, and had they have written Victor to be anything but what he is right now, I probably would be so on board with him being the Valentine that should have been Valentine when Valentine came on canvas, that they threatened us for, I don't know, what was it, 7 or 8 years about how dastardly and
he was the worst
mean.
Says 1999. Says 1999. The worst
now you bring
in ever.
You bring
and he was the
Victor.
Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Now you bring this all in. You have played this storyline in 27 directions, which out of 27, only 2 or 3 of them can kind of make sense if you want to forget a couple of facts along the way. It is time. It is time. You are promising us that it is all going to be blown up at the Nurses' Ball this year. It is time to kill this storyline and cremate it. Don't even give us the possibility that Dr. Rolf is going to cross over networks and be holding somebody dead for a couple of years and bring us back. Cremate this damn storyline. It's got to go. Take it away, David.
Absolutely. I'm waiting for Victor to get his. He should have gotten it along. He should have been getting it along the way. I mean, he's just getting away with everything. And it looks like Nurses' Ball time is going to be that time for the 60th. With Jane coming back just in time. And I hope there is a Luke in the forecast.
Willie? I'm coming to you last, Candace. Willie? All right. Rachel?
With this Victor thing, it's not entirely clear to me what he wants and what he's up to. And to the point that it's not a hidden agenda, I don't think they've thrown enough darts at the dartboard yet in the writer's room to where they've even decided. It's very frustrating. I'd be down for seeing him get with Ava. I think they'd be a lot of fun and could burn everything down. But we know that Nicholas is leaving abruptly, apparently, without filming his final scenes. All this, and the only thing I've seen him really want is them divorced. And I don't know. It's just, I feel like he's just a villain who's got one leg nailed to the floor and he's just going in circles. And it's lame, and he's a great actor, and he was a good recast, and just, That's where I'm at with that.
Go ahead, Candace.
Okay. Once again, GH, we need to have a talk. Okay, so you did promise some big shockers come April. We know that, Sonia Eddy will be getting an episode dedicated to her. Thank you, GH. You did that right. Then you got the Nurses' Ball. You got Jane Elliott coming back. It's supposed to be a long period of time. And then you have a storyline that is going to be like must-see TV.
Hold up. So hold right there, Candace, because you know what the storyline's going to be. Lucy's going to come back, and she saw Luke, and Luke is nowhere to be found. And that's going to be the second arc of this.
Well, that's the thing, is that let's go back a year ago, you guys. Remember last year? Woo! We had so much fun. Woo! And they killed Luke Spencer. Now, you killed Luke Spencer, and you didn't do credit to it, okay? You introduced the Ice Princess. You introduced the Ice Princess storyline.
Dropped it. Yep.
You dropped it, even though you couldn't have dropped. You shouldn't have. Well, here's the thing. You still had people to represent the Ice Princess storyline. Look, Tony Gary wanted me to tell y'all something. He said he was unable to come over because, there's something called COVID, and he's enjoying his life right now. But you still had Jeannie. you still had Nicholas. You had Charles. You had James Paxton Stewart. You had Nancy Lee. You still had enough.
You got
Robert
Scorpio too.
Right. You have all of them where they could actually redo and introduce the Ice Princess to a whole new generation. Okay. Pause that storyline in March. Fast forward to now. Okay, the 60th anniversary is upon us. And whether you like to hear this or not, I agree. Luke Spencer needs to be back. Okay, let's do the adventure. We got Jane Elliott back. Okay, we all know Tracy knows that Luke is probably somewhere hiding out. There's a heist going on. You got Victor Cassadine, who, by the way, GH, just in case you forgot, Mrs. Wu poisoned Victor. So I don't know what the poison has done to Victor, but and it's taken a long time to work. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
It's like something can happen where we got
about that.
Yes.
See, I'm going to help you. But here's
There's another spoiler that was given out from Soap Opera Digest and other places too, but this is a solid one. Remember that Port Charles is going to go against Victor Cassadine this spring. So that's also
so let's do the who killed Victor Cassadine.
Yeah, my theory is that Lucy does return, yes, but my theory is she's probably going to be a hired gun to shoot after somebody.
Well,
like mind control, but that's just my guess.
Well, don't forget that they brought Selena Wu into this with some shady, there's something coming from the West Coast, drop that storyline. Then they had Selena move in on Curtis's club, drop the, I mean, not that that's not right, she's still working at Curtis's club, but that was supposed to be something big.
But hold up, can we even go there even further? Okay, who thinks there was supposed to be a Who Killed Victor Cassadine storyline?
Me.
Maybe.
And I'm going to tell you what happened. This is Candace's opinion. I think because what happened behind the scenes with Marcus, right? I think they scrapped it.
Yeah.
I think because, again, when Mrs. Wu poisoned Victor, I think that was supposed to be his death sentence, okay? I think because of stuff that happened behind the scenes. Right.
Because remember, it was Holly.
Do we know if she did it?
Right.
She did.
She did give it to him.
What it should have been was that the same poison that Selena gave to Victor is the same poison being used on the hook. But, go on.
We're right. We ain't talking about the hook. Please don't make me talk about the hook. I can't do this anymore. By the way, GH, that's your next storyline that you got to fix.
Candace, what about the mission company that's going after Sonny? Are they in the mix too?
Pikeman.
Lord, I forgot about that too.
Yeah.
So did the writers.
Wait a minute. It's called
They might be the
Days of Our Lives.
Pikeman. Yeah, Pikeman.
Look, we got a Days of Our Lives crossover coming up. Okay, cool. But no, the thing is that it's so much. When I tell you just now, my mind just raced because I'm like, okay, GH, what you need to do, what you need to stop, you need to stop this right now. I know you're excited about turning 60. We, the daytime fans, are really excited that you made it to the 60th. Do you hear me? Okay. But you need to kind of put a closure on some of the stories that has been taken, and this is no pun, forever and a day to tell. You had the hook storyline. Okay. Who is the real hooker? Okay. Because if it's not Esme and it's not Heather, you might as well just say it's Ryan and call it a day. Number two, this paternity stuff with Trina, we need to end this right now because this ain't fun anymore. The Spencer and Trina kiss, it needs to happen before I hit 41. Do you hear me? Okay. The whole Austin, what is Austin's purpose? Seriously,
what is Mason's purpose? They need to get rid of Mason.
Maybe he's with Pikeman.
Wait a minute, hold on. Here's the thing. I had to go back, right? Because I was like, Mason, who the heck is Mason? And the only Mason I could think of, y'all going to be laughing really hard when I say this. Anthony's going to get me. The only Mason I was thinking about was Julia and Mason from Santa Barbara.
Oh, Lord Mason. Lord Mark.
Yes. Yeah, I get it.
Okay. So again, see, this is the thing, GH. Stop putting new characters on because I'm getting confused. Because it's like, all right, Cody, what is Cody doing? You know, he's pining after what could have happened with him and Britt. Okay, you know, you got Elizabeth's mom back in town. Lord Jesus, you need to fix some of these stories before you can do anything else. And you need to understand that, look, we all want the payoff. We want a payoff.
We do.
But not okay, this is what we filmed together. Ta-da! Use your imaginations.
You know,
use your imaginations, writers. And I'm not just saying this for GH. I'm saying it for all the writers. Use your imagination. Get outside the box.
Not only, exactly. Get outside of your box. Because not only use your imagination, but they can get away with so much more than they could get away with 5 years ago on daytime television. And they are stuck in this. We are afraid to push the envelope, pattern. All four of them are. But GH, you are the worst offender of it because you are the one that goes off the map the most. And then you come back with these wannabe logical, changing history makes no kind of sense, right? I'm sorry, but they changed the Elizabeth storyline at least 4 different times before they came up with what it was going to be. This is the pattern that's been going on for a good 5 years now. Look at Alexander Devane. Come on. And to all of the fans out there who are, you want to be Team Nina? Great. You want to be Team Carly? Great. Here's the deal, okay? Every single one of these characters has done something shady. Every single one of these characters has been saved by somebody at some point. You have signed the contract. Every time you press that remote or click that key or however you access your show, you sign that contract over and over again that you are entering a world of suspension of belief. You are agreeing to we are going into a world that is a different universe than the world we currently live in. So you've got to just kind of suck it up and get over it. Having said that, though, I will applaud. There have been so many amazing scene moments over the last couple of weeks. Mm-hmm. Britt and Liesl being at the top. I liked the dynamic in the chapel. I will say that I would have written it quite differently. But with those two actresses, they could have been reading the phone book. Willow's your daughter. Willow Tate, 751-456-7171. And they still would have knocked it out the park. Okay, one last piece on General Hospital, and then we will go over. I know I said General City before. I meant Salem. One last piece on General Hospital.
Yeah.
Britt had to go. Brindle had to go. For all of their various off-the-show reasons. I still think, they should have just recast Brando. I truly do. Selena has now got Gladys, the whole 9 yards. Do not, General Hospital, do not tie Austin and Mason into Selena either unless you have got a grand master plan with Selena because you've got fabulous
you don't want
there.
That?
You've got some no. Not with the history that General Hospital has shown us for the last 5 years. Now, if they've got a grand master plan and she's going to burn parts of her, if she's going to be the Victor that Victor should have been, then I'm all for it. But I love General Hospital. I've loved it for almost 40 years. No, wait, hold up. 3 years old. Okay, for 42 years. Yes, I just told y'all people my age as well. I've loved it, But the writers for the last couple of years, they keep doing this to us and dropping us down.
Yeah.
Honestly, instead of killing off Britt, should have sent her on her Eat, Pray, Love journey with the possibility of her coming back because I know she's going to London for love. But if it don't work out, girlfriend going to need a paycheck. But like she said, no one's ever dead in soap operas. Y'all should have killed off Austin. Anybody want to say anything else about General Hospital before we head over to Salem?
No.
All right, then. All aboard. Please fasten your buckled seatbelts. The slides come out, and let's hop on over to Salem. Rachel, have you started? You haven't started us off on anything. Tell us about days right now.
Tell us about days right now. Okay. So part of my love-hate with Days. This was the very last soap I came to as a soap news editor, and I'm addicted to it. I love Ron Carlivati. I love the very fact that it is like uber campy, soapiest soap on the air, you know.
Passions 2.0. Go ahead, girl.
But just all the constant resurrection. And so, but with that in mind, because I'm watching Roman walk around with that urn of Kate, and I don't think Dr. Rolfe cannot bring her back from that urn, but I feel like there's going to be a divine resurrection where the angels bring her back. The only thing I'm curious about is if Susan Banks is going to come back to life too, because that would be so great for Elvis Jr., who needs to be concentrating on spending more time shirtless, so that I can see that.
Amen.
Right.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to throw this out there before we go to the next person. I'm praying. I am so praying. Ron, I agree, Rachel. I've been a big fan of yours for years and years and years. We've had coffee together and so on and so forth. But going forward, they did a time jump 2 years ago. Lord have mercy. I'm almost praying that somebody wakes up in bed and the shower is running in the bathroom, and the last 2 years have not happened.
No.
Just full Dallas.
Anthony.
Full Dallas. That's what you want, right?
Just full Dallas. Just full Dallas. Now, there's been a lot of great stuff in the last 2 years, but, you know, Turner was great in the 80s. You know, we've done this. We've done this. You brought Bowen Hope back. I'm on board for that. That I'm on board for. But the rest of it, you know, we could go back 2 years and start all over them. All right, let's go to Willie.
All right.
Willie?
The rumors are true.
Oh, go ahead.
The rumors are true. The devil is coming back to Salem. If you didn't know about it.
Well, Anthony, didn't you bring that up earlier?
I did. Anything else from you, Willie? All right, Candace,
no.
Go ahead, girl.
Okay, so let me just say this right now. Based off of the stuff that we've seen in the last couple of episodes, I want to give an honorable shout out to some actors who sometimes gets overlooked on Days of Our Lives.
Give her the one that we thought about.
Especially today and yesterday's, is Drake Holgerson.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, Ron, I will give you this. Ron, I'm going to give you this. Your writing has given Drake a lot of good material. I will give you that. You know how to write for John Black. And what I saw today is why, Ron, you was picked to go to Days of Our Lives. Because you get it. You get the value of Days of Our Lives, which is family. That has been one of your main strengths as a writer. You know how to write for the family unity. I also want to give a shout out to Stephen Nichols. Because Patch losing Kayla, and then, you know, him and Stephanie, and then him and Kristen DeMira. He is hurt.
Yes.
And the final person, and y'all going to be like, what? Is Josh Taylor.
Yes.
Because, Rachel, you bring up the urn, right? And,
yeah,
you know, I'm like, damn, that was quick. You know, with Kate in the urn, I'm like, damn, that was quick. But the thing is that Roman has lost his sister, his current, and his former love. He's lost
and his mama.
But I mean,
not for the devil. Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, in the last couple of hours, quote unquote, in Salem time, he's lost all three, right? Okay.
Yep.
So with Days right now, I feel as though this to me is what Days is. This and you're right. I mean, they did do a time jump that they seem to have forgotten about. I'm not shaming you, but I'm shaming you. Okay? There's some hits and misses right now with the show. It is. I'm not lying. It is. But to me, when I'm seeing the scenes with, with Patch and John and Roman and, the children, like with Eric. Oh, my God. Greg Vaughn. Not only is Eric is such a vulnerable character right now. And Brady too.
Yeah, he is.
And I'm going to say something, Dave. Again, and I'm giving shout outs to the writers, to Ron, to Ryan, to Jamie, to David, to Richard, to Caroline, to Darrell Anthony. Hey boo, to Janet, all of them. Right. I love how they tied the history. When you had Will talking about how he came out to his grandmother. Such a big moment.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now the flip side. Gabby and Stephon and Lee.
Questionable.
Okay. How can I say this? I'm not feeling it. I feel as though they let me down with Lee. With Gabby. I understand that Gabby has, the first person to truly love her was Stephon. I get it. But I'm just like, something was missing from the storyline. And then you got Chloe.
It's not historic to begin with.
Well, it's like, okay, in the soap operas, we know that nobody's really dead, quote unquote, right? All right. And
Yep.
when they come back, it's sort of a journey to get back to the person that you was with, right? I feel as though there was something that was missing because, yes, when Stephon woke up, he said, "Where's Gabby?" So you knew he was thinking about Gabby. Gabby has moved on with her life. Yes, she still remembers him, but she's moving on. Twist, Lee knew that the boy was alive. Okay. But then you do, and Ron, you guys, you redid the whole Chad, Abby, Belle storyline with these three. Because you had Chad brainwashed to love Belle and not like Abby. You did the same thing, but it was just with Chloe. And then when Chloe had told Brady, because Brady didn't tell her about the plan, I wish you would have you would have told me what was going on. But yet, Chloe, you said you're conflicted because you have feelings for stuff. I'm like, girl, did I miss something? I'm like.
Yes, Thomas and Hope all over again. Thank you.
Yeah, it's worse because it's like, so Chloe, just because Brady didn't share something with you, you go ahead and you're like, I love Stephon. Stephon treated me for my birthday. Whoopee! Seriously? Okay. Dr. Ross is missing. I wonder who has him. Hi, Megan. Can't wait to see you, girl. And then you have, what else you got? Sarah and Xander and Gwen. Sarah, girl, let's have a talk. Cut your losses.
Yep.
Cut them.
Yeah, but have you seen him?
I mean, I have seen him. And
I'd be
Come on. Like how I did that? It's like a true soap diva. Like, I see him. I want him. But no,
Days of Our Lives is a candy shop.
Oh, girl, all you got to do is go back a couple of weeks ago, right? Well, not a couple of weeks ago, about, 2 months ago, and listen to the Greg Vaughn interview. You're welcome, America. I didn't get a yes and I didn't get a no. Just remember that. But the thing is that I feel as though, that's another thing. And I used to like Sarah and Xander. Let me preface this. But I feel as though, again, something is not clicking. And I think it's because they did what I thought they were going to do with Gwen. I called this 2 years ago. They're going to make Gwen an interesting character that is suitable for Xander. When Xander's around Gwen, he doesn't have to fake it. He doesn't have to fake, certain things.
That's true.
But with Sarah, he has to be Hallmark. He has to be the Hallmark guy. I'm a stand-up citizen. Yeah, But it's like, and Sarah, like, to me, Days, I would have put Rex and Sarah together because that's the kind of person that Sarah should be with. Wait, are they related? They're not related. Okay, got to make sure of that.
No, they were together.
They
were together. They came on together.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying now, like, Rex is sort of the suitable guy for Sarah. Think about it. Gwen went to bat for Xander, and Xander is still lying to Sarah. But Gwen and him, they have this mutual understanding. And not for nothing, it helps that he's friends with Jack.
Right. 5 minutes, guys.
All right. Gage, you're doing good, though.
Yeah, no, ultimately speaking, it's much more watchable, and I'm never going to stop watching General Hospital. Ultimately speaking, it's much more watchable than General Hospital, but it's time to give us the big pow for all of these hanging storylines now. But I got to say, though, you know, the resurrections, as Rachel pointed out, Kate's in the urn. So,
wasn't Marlena in Ashes too? Marlena was like the last time when Marlena died. Yeah, because that's when they had that sequence where they had the what if and her ashes got splattered all over the floor. Oh
my God! Yes.
Tony was in an urn too. Remember? She was carrying Tony around. Leanne was carrying. What's-her-face was carrying Tony around for a long time.
Yeah.
The moral of the story, kids, is exactly. You could be buried alive. You could be cremated. You could be put on ice. You can come back.
Fortunately for Days, my favorite thing is vampire, supernatural stuff. So I am down for all of it. I just love looking at the ashes and going, that's fun.
I'm like, but you know what, Ron? Hey, Ron, real quick. I know I'm going to ask this question, but with Kate, why do I think they're going to pull? If you watch One Life to Live, you'll understand this reference. Al and Michael. You guys remember Al? Yeah. I'm watching you, Ron. I'm watching you.
They call him Rerun for a reason.
Well, see, real quick, I'm going to say this real quick before we go. I understand it, but in this situation, it would actually work because of Days of Our Lives' identity. Because like you just said, Days of Our Lives, out of the 4 soaps, they are the most religious and also supernatural. So it could actually work. I mean, come on now. How many people have been possessed by the devil?
Oh, yeah.
And all I got to say is Garden of Eden. All I got to say is Garden of Eden. Eden. Yeah. When Austin and Greta. Yeah. I know y'all don't want to remember that, but guess what? Yeah.
Ron Carlivati will jump the shark, back up, jump over it backwards, re-jump over the shark. He'll keep jumping it. It's fun.
Hey, look, Days of Our Lives won the WGA award this year. So real quick, round of applause to them.
3 years
even
in a
though
row.
they were the only one. Yep.
1 minute and a half.
Absolutely. Well, everyone, 3 cheers for Days of Our Lives. Absolutely for their esteemed accomplishments. I am definitely waiting on what the devil is going to bring into Salem. Everybody else, take a listen to our podcast tonight. We've given you some really good ideas. Everybody out there, we'll be back in 2 weeks with another fabulous show. And don't forget, Forever and a Day's come back real soon.
Yep, February 6th, baby. Oh, my God. That's not that far. Oh, my God. I just realized that. That's in 2 weeks almost.
Yeah,
it is. All right, everyone. Have a great evening and a great week.
Thank you, everybody.
And keep
good night.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yeah. Bye, guys. Be well, be blessed, be safe.
Bye, everybody.
Get connected with Take Two Radio on Facebook or Twitter at Take Two Radio. For email updates on future shows, follow at Blog Talk Radio. For previous episodes, upcoming guests, and more, visit TakeTwoRadio.com.